NYC Sports Podcast Show. This is Coach Uncle Milt. Welcome, you guys. You know, we're here in the 69 episode 69. Go figure, you know. That sounds funny, but we here and I'm back on the show, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that I'm here to talk to you. And just like I said, it's a steady improvement. We getting back to our comfortable, environment, back on in our studio and in our professional equipment. But it's getting better and better each week. It's getting better, sound better. You know, we worked out the kinks and everything, so we good. Today's episode, we're gonna have a dynamic coach, coming in. We just waiting for him to tighten it up and get on the Zoom. And we're gonna talk about him later. But until then, we're gonna talk about something else. Let's talk about things that we're trying to do on the sports show. We got a couple of commercials on the overlay we got there that's flashing. That's called our $10 ads. We like people to support us, because doing this, it is a kind of what a financial commitment, and we do need the support from our listening audience and people that tuning in. So we got a couple of things that I'm going to mention off right real quick until we waiting for our guests to come in to support our show. There's a lot of things that you guys can do to support us and get going on certain things we want to do. One thing is, like I said, that's an ad that we flash on the air. Is so the video went off. The video goes off. I touched something. My video went off. Yeah, I'm back on. I touched something over here. All right, so we back on, Joe. Joe, can you hear me? Okay. I had the video button. I went off. Like I said, there's certain things that you guys can do for us, the listening and the viewing audience, can do for us to support our show. One thing is to donate to our Cash App, whatever you can. We asking for $5 donations, and we're going to give you a chocolate bar from Mrs. Chocolate, and we're going to send it over to you. And that'll be, our gift to you for your donation. Also, you can write it off because we are nonprofit 501c3 corporation. So we'll give you, you can send us $5 at Cash App, NYC Sports under the Cash App, and can do that, and we'll be sending you a chocolate bar on our, a gift to you. And then, we just, like I said, we got these $10 ads. Whoever got a business, whoever got self-employed, who's promoting anything, and as far as the youth sports world in New York City, the county, and the states, send us your ad, and send us. And we were flashing on the air. And we also got a site on Facebook called NY4NY, where you can place your local events there also, and that makes us aware of what you're doing that. But to put it on our show, and it's a little more detailed to put on our show. We're giving you options on to help us help you to promote to help kids in youth sports. So that's it. I'm gonna repeat that, so you can help us and we can help you, and we together we can help kids in youth sports. So people doing events, people doing promotions and things like that. It's selling apparel, services like training and all that. Help us, we help you, and we both grow together. So that's one way that you can help us. You put a $10 ad that's flashing on the screen. It's rotating while we on the air. So it might pop up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times on the air. So that's in that I think left-hand corner right there on the screen is going to be popping. So another way we got we're doing something different on the show, that we got a time check, like sponsored by blah blah blah, and we say when guest is coming on, that's a time check ad. That ad between 3 to 5 seconds, that's going to be $15 per ad. And we mentioned you got about 4 slots on the show that we mentioned that. Next slot is a mention ad. It's 30 to 40 seconds, and it's during our break. And that's going to be 3 to 4 times on the show. That's going to be $35 in that. And then we got a voice ad that we play on our breaks. The 30 minutes is $25 and 60. 30 seconds is $25 and 60 seconds is $50. And you got to have a pre-recorded. Everything has got to be pre-recorded ad, and we just play it. So the next ad is a video ad. You know, those who want to get more technical with the video ad, we got 3 to 4 slots. A 30-second video ad we show for $35, and a 1-minute ad we show for $50. And you gotta have the video already made. We just play it. And then we got group packages. Call us for that, for group packages for 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. And we also got other avenues that we can put your advertising in. That's additional. We have the live stream that's coming up that we're going right to the field, the baseball field, football, basketball field. We're going to be putting the games on our Watch the Youth channel, and that's where you can place your ad also. You know, if you buy these packages, that these pre-group packages that you can get your ad out there. So, you know, we've been on the air coming up, and we got to generate some type of revenue to stay on the air, you know, to stay on the air. Things are costing us it's like I said, I went to the supermarket today to buy some eggs, and eggs is at $5 a dozen. So things are going up. Gas is almost at $5, and you know, it's getting really, really costly to broadcast and to, you know, do certain things that we need to do so we can be entertaining to you, the viewer, and the listener also. So these are things that we got to do, figure it out. If you promote anything that got something to do with youth sports, bring it to us. Bring it to us. Apparel companies, service companies with products or services like training and nutrition, and things like that. And whatever you're doing, bring it to us. Guys that's doing tournaments, that's doing sports events, bring it to us, and we're gonna help you advertise it. And we got all these packages so you guys can fit within your budget. We got a bunch of packages that you can fit. Please don't ask Uncle Milt to support, you know, only you. Support got to go both ways. And I appreciate it that you are thinking about us as far as involving us in what you're doing as far as an event. But understand, it costs money. It costs money to do this. And we have to get something, you know, to help us continue the quest on being that prominent sports show in New York City and county and state. And with that said, you know, that's over with that. I wanted to I'm working on the next thing I'm working on next week. It's you know, I got to get on my basketball shows, and I got a caller in with a parent, and I don't know, because I'm, you know, I'm trying to work my Sunday show, which is Uncle Milt's Q&A, that I talk directly to the parents. That's on Sunday at 8 o'clock. I'm trying, you know, I'm asking parents to email us or to text us your questions to talk about Sunday. Whatever question that you have about youth sports, just text it over to us at 718-717-9618. That's 718-717-9618. You know, text us up or email us at NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show at gmail.com. That's NYC Youth Sports Podcast, PODCAST show at gmail.com. Email us over your questions, and we'll talk about it Sunday. but a particular question came in about the A. He's there. Okay, the AAU. We're gonna talk about that later. Our guest is here, so we're gonna continue the show. I call him the Rock of Gibraltar of youth sports. He's been coaching so long, and he's one of the pillars of youth sports as far as coaching wise. And he's with one of the oldest organizations in youth sports in New York City. It's the Springfield Rifles. We glad to welcome Artie Singleton, Coach Artie from the Springfield Rifles. What's up, Coach? Oh, that's
Hey, what's going on?
got the logo in the back and everything, man. How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, you good? Okay, I'm glad to have you. Thank you for coming to the show. And you know, I got a few questions to pick your head. You know, I hope you're ready.
Yeah, I'm go ahead.
You ready? All right, you ready? Here we go. I want you to, start from the beginning. How did Coach Artie get into the coaching business from the beginning, and how you end up at the Rifles?
Well, I played for the Rifles way back. So I mean that's family. But I got into the coaching business because my godson wanted to play ball. So I told my sister to send him, take him down to Roy Wilkins, sign him up for the Rifles. So I came to a couple of games, and Coach Barnett, who was at Campus Magnet now coaching, he approached me and asked me, did I want to coach? So, I said, yeah. And been coaching ever since. That was end of 95, 96.
Okay.
And I'm still doing it.
And you're still at it, man. You're still at it. Because the landscape of youth football here, we need coaches. We need coaches. There's a shortage of coaches. So, it's always good to hear the stories, how you got into it and what inspired you to do it. I mean, your decision to inspire you to do it. What was your mind frame?
I'm a football fanatic. I love football. I played, I played, but I didn't play. I didn't go too far. But I always loved the game. I love the sport. Mm-hmm. It's just something about football, the camaraderie, the competition is, I think it's the best sport in the world. Coaching and trying to. Once I started coaching, I started seeing the impact and the power that I had, teaching kids and talking to them about the sport and elevating them to go beyond their measures to play this game. Throughout the city, the things that you instill in them, they take and they use it in after football. once they
Yeah.
leave the field.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some heat on the last show. I had mentioned last week. I had mentioned about challenging kids, and my producers and people calling me up about that. I wanna ask you this because your guys been around over, and you've been there, and you know the leadership before, and you know what you do there at the rifle. What is the responsibility of a youth sports organization in the neighborhood? What do they pray a responsibility?
The responsibility of a
Yes,
youth organization.
yes, in the hood.
That's kind of, I mean, the responsibility is to teach the kids whatever you're running. If it's a basketball program, it's a football program, baseball, whatever, cheerleading. You want to teach them first and foremost. You're teaching them about the game, the sport that you're involved in. The second thing is you're mentoring them about life, life choices, things like that. I mean,
because I had a conversation with the coach that called me up to explain. I said, organization responsibility, what you just said. Now, they teach the game and they play competitively in games. So they have their training camp. They have getting the kids ready physically and mentally, and they teach the game mentally, and they have their little practices and things. And at the end of the day, they play games, right? They play competitive game to see where they stand. Now, and none of that doesn't say, because I say the difference between an organization, my opinion, organization like yourself and like other organizations, is to teach the kids the game, and you hold them accountable on what they was taught through competition to play other games, to play the season. And at the end of the day, it's not about winning and loss, it's about their development.
Yeah.
It's about their development and getting them ready for the next level if they want to go to the next level. You're bringing them the tools. So the thing is, like I said, when I say challenge kids, I'm not saying anything about a coach's ability to develop and anything. I'm saying that your job is to do that and to challenge them. We all challenge them in the position they play. We all challenge them when they run around the track. When they do push-ups, we all challenge them to get better. And I was just wanting to pick your head. That's out the question. I just want to pick your brain about that. And but you had it right. That's the thing they do. So the reason of this meeting, the reason of this meeting is to talk to you. And you was on our first show 2 years ago. You was on our first show. Remember, you was on our first show 2 years ago. Yeah, you came in. Coach Ali brought you in, and we had a good time. And I was trying to get you back, and I'm glad you have me back. And it's a story twirling around about the Springfield Rifles are entertaining coming to unlimited weight.
Yeah. That. Well, we've played in limited weight before. We were in Big Apple when it first started. Before when Big Apple became real big. But things beyond our control, I mean, league things that we weren't happy with, we felt we had to go somewhere else. All right. So basically, we went back to New York City Youth Football, which was AKA Old Warner Conference football, and they were waiting. So we just
we went back to
let me
Okay,
finish. We went back there because outside of being weighted, that's their downfall. That's one of their downfalls. But they're more structured than any of the other leagues. As far as structure.
Who's down for, Coach? Who's down for?
Warner.
Okay.
Warner being weighted. I mean, because everything I think they're the last of the Mohicans. They're the last weighted league in the city. I don't know, maybe the state. I don't know. I haven't seen too many.
You mean to this date currently?
Excuse me?
To this date currently?
Yeah, I don't know of any other weighted leagues.
In the city? All. You talking about New York League?
Yes.
Okay, yes, in the city. You're right.
Yeah.
In the city, yes.
So I mean, they're more structured than anything. I mean, they have their schedule. They play their games on time. You don't have the issues of finding out a game on Tuesday and then on Friday night they're changing the field or this team doesn't have a field or whatever. I mean, that was some of the things that that frustrated us in Big Apple. Since I've been monitoring them, I've been watching it ever since we left. I still have friends and comrades over there, and they cleaned it up. And that's what I was looking at, and I'm looking at the competitive side of it also. I mean, because realistically, like right now, like I always say, the New York City youth football, their upper divisions are very competitive. They're competitive. I think they can compete. Like their peewees on up, they can compete with any other league in the city. They can. That's just the way I feel. That's my opinion. Lower levels, meaning peanuts and junior peewees, 9 and 10s, it's not good. The competition is not good. Last year, my team last year, junior peewees, we went undefeated. We beat every team probably no team scored on us. Every game was 40-0. Every game was stopped before the end of the fourth quarter. We ran one fourth down play all year, and that was in the championship game. And then we scored on that play. So my discord with that, with that what they're doing on those levels is just not beneficial for our organization right now.
So why is that? I mean, why is that? Because the New York League is just like you said, they structured. They've been around and they structured, but something is it's calling a shift in youth football, and seeing the weighted is not getting the kids like they should. Like, the majority of kids. Like
it's only a few organizations in New York, in the New York City Youth Football League that are getting kids. One is the Skyhawks. The other is Queens Falcons and the Bronx Knights. Outside of ourselves, those are the main. Like when I look at the organizations, those are the organizations that have teams from bottom to top, and they have full rosters. Everybody else, they don't have it, and the reason why it's like that is the number one is they're happy with what they have. The powers that be are happy with the product that they put out. That's one thing.
Who's that? That's the Skyhawks and the Falcons and the Bronx organization. They happy with their numbers.
Well, the league is in general as a whole. They're happy with their product. They're happy with their competition.
No,
You
hold
know,
on,
they
hold on, coach, hold on, coach. Okay, the deal is this: when you say they're happy, now, I them as a business, they can be happy with the organizations they put together, but they can't play themselves, and that the organizations can't produce the divisions for some reason. Soon, the product in the business is going to suffer. Don't you agree?
well, it's not well. It is suffering, and like I said, on the lower levels, it's suffering, but it's
Mhm.
not suffering on the upper levels. And that's in my opinion, that's what the way I feel. They cater more to the peewees and the bantams more than they worry about the junior peewees, which is 10 and under, and the peanuts 8 and
Well,
under, things like that.
that's how do you grow if you don't get the little kids? You don't get the babies. How do you grow?
Um,
What's the future?
look, they've been doing it, but like I said, it's like you said, it's gonna come to a head.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, it's gonna come to a head. They're gonna either have to conform or it's gonna, fold
yeah,
until somebody outside of the Springfield Rifles
yeah,
says enough is enough,
yeah.
that we need to change. It's gonna stay that way.
To all due respect to the New York League, this is not about putting down a product. About
No, they
they
have,
have
like I
structure.
say, it's not
They
about putting
Yeah,
down the product.
it's not about what they handle their business over there. And shout out to Coach Garvin and what they doing over there. It's not about that. It's I see the shift that we organizations every year has to recruit. I'm right or wrong.
Yes.
All right. So if I did I'm not gonna name the organization situation, but I did something with a particular organization in Brooklyn that's sitting on some good real estate. And when I did it, I see kids, and it wasn't like, wow, what's going on? You were one of those prime organizations, and this what comes out. So you got to say what's going on. You got to say what's going on. Are you recruiting, or is it really hard to get kids because it's weighted?
Um,
Other than other than signing up kids, you don't got the scale there.
well, like I said, the people they're happy. They're happy with doing it, and a part of it,
No, I'm not talking about them. I mean, they're gonna keep they brand, and the way they doing their business. They feel like it's fine. So it's not about the New York League. It's about what the Rifles and what they're looking at, and what they're looking at for the future is a unlimited program. According to your opinion, Coach, if you think an unlimited program would do better for the Springfield Rifles at this point in time in the area they're at.
yes, yes. I think yeah, because we're not we're still the Springfield Rifles, but
Yeah.
there are other organizations, other entities around us that are grabbing and pulling, and we're not giving them, they're giving them. I mean, they're giving them
Okay. All right.
opportunities,
All right.
other opportunities and things like that.
I get it.
You know, and so you got to cater to your customers. They're the customers. You got to cater to them.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what's going on. I mean, the entities we got Rosedale, which is just went unlimited. They just entered Big Apple. You have Elmont, which is right down the block from us. The Bulldogs, which is right down the
closer
block.
to you than Elmont.
Huh?
They closer to you than Elmont.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is these are the entities.
Yeah.
Elmont, Queens Avengers, those organizations are surrounding us. They're all in Big Apple. They're all unlimited weight. So now when I get a 10-year-old that's 150, 160 pounds, and I'm in a weighted league, no, can't play. I have to either get rid of him or his parent accepts the challenge to make the kid lose the weight so he can get on the field. But it's easier to just take them somewhere where you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, they're pulling. So we're not gonna get where we were getting kids, we're not getting kids anymore. They're gonna go to these other organizations, which are like 5 miles away from us.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah. So I mean, we still doing good with numbers, but again, when I look at it and I see the upcoming season and we're still enrolling kids, I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know how the weighted thing fits into our agenda. Now, albeit, like I said, in New York, their upper levels are going unlimited. Their bantams, which is 13, 14, they're unlimited, which is a big thing for them. They increased the weight on a PB level, which is 11 and 12. They 10 and under is still the same.
But coach, the babies, that's the future. If you don't look at getting those babies in, that's the future. 8, 9s, and 10s, man. That's the future.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have nothing else if you don't take care of that bottom.
No,
but I mean, just like I said, I don't want to elaborate on the New York League. They're gonna do their business, and they feel, the leadership feel they on the right track. And hey, we know what the landscape is. The landscape is that the recruiting is getting difficult. The recruiting is getting difficult not only because you have surrounding organizations in that South Queens area, and your guys was the first, and you got surrounding organizations. So your landscape and your product has to change for recruiting. Would you agree?
Yes.
What is the difference? What's stopping? What's stopping? Because it seems like you're on the page. What's stopping it from moving forward? What's the option?
It's an internal discussions that I say that we're really trying to get on the same page and make it that it's conducive for beneficial. I should say beneficial for our organization. So people still have reserves. They have reserves on if unlimited weight is the way to go. I don't think it's the unlimited weight, is more as where are we going? The leagues.
Oh, the leagues. Oh,
the leagues. I mean,
because I know you mentioned earlier, Big Apple has some issues.
They had
in the past, but they kind of better now.
Yeah.
They're under the leadership, of certain people, and it's gotten better. The product has gotten better since they dropped a weighted program and went unlimited. Their product has got real better and better, and now they're kind of like the undisputed league in New York right now. Who's not there? You can count on one hand who's not there.
And that's the whole thing.
And that was hard work, and the product ain't 100%. Shout out to Mr. Executive Tyrone Franklin, but the product is not 100%, but it is better. It's better. So that's one decision which is an easy decision. If you decide to go unlit, if you decide to stay weighted, where are you gonna go? You think they're gonna go back to New York, or they?
Well, we would, if we're gonna stay weighted, we're not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna stay
Okay,
where we are.
okay.
Um, and if we go unlimited, we're gonna be most likely in Big Apple.
Okay. Okay.
Like I said, it's just about us, our organization sitting down and making a decision
Internally.
that's going to be beneficial for us.
Internally. Okay, it's an
Yeah.
internal decision, which is it becomes difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about was Miss Spalding's view on it, or is she yay or nay? Or
She kind of left it up to us to decide.
okay, okay.
So she's only going to step in. She's only going to step in when she has to.
Okay.
So but pretty much she left it up to the coaches to decide where we're going to play. So
All right. So let's get back to you personally as a coach. That the business of the Springfield is finished. So we're gonna get on you now. We're going to not get on you, but we're gonna talk about you. 2 years ago, you brought a young coach up to us, Coach Kia. You mentioned about the Queen's Avenger. How you feel about her development and what she's doing over?
She's doing great. She's doing things that I couldn't do when I stepped away from the Rifles and tried to start my own thing. I mean, but she's doing a great job over there at the Queen's Avengers. To me, that's family. I mean, I always tell them that's family, but I always let them know that y'all good, but when y'all gotta go against the OG, it ain't gonna be that way. And all of most of the coaches that she do have, they all my players. So
yeah, okay.
I follow them. I got friends and people over there, kids over there. We lost a couple of players to them. And it's all good to me. I have no hard feelings for that. Some people hold grudges. I'm not gonna hold grudges. You got to do what benefits you and what's making you happy. And she got parents, and her program is thriving right now.
Because I remember when you did your thing some years back over there in Rochdale, and you did, so the difficulties of putting together an organization.
Yeah.
The do's and don'ts and the failures of it. So I was just wanted to ask a question. Does it make you feel pretty good the way her progress is? Because she could coach. And she coaching the right way because the kids is showing it, and she's the talk. She's the hot organization in the South Queens area now. She's the hot organization now.
She is. Yeah, so, they are.
I just want
they deserve it. They earned it. They did it. They did it the right way. It wasn't undermined or anything like that. And that's the whole thing. And that's my thing about us, the Rifles, going back into unlimited because of because like I said, the Queen's Avengers, Rosedale. I mean, Rosedale, we haven't played. I think the last time I played Rosedale was the Rifles in Rosedale had a game, a physical game was about 20 years ago. And I talked to Jock. Jock is a good friend of mine, and we always talk about like getting that rivalry back and getting, we got the rivalry with the Bulldogs, and then you got the Queen's Avengers. My thing is, like I tell my organization, I was like, we got all of these people pulling, and they're doing things. I said, then they're vying for that spot because we're no longer the cream of the crop. We're not going to get those players if we're not doing certain things. And the only way to combat that is to get in the same league with them, and compete with them.
You did. You just got to sell it. You got to sell it to you got to sell it to the people. You got to sell it to your people in your home. It's there. They're gonna, you're gonna make that division. You're gonna make that Queens Long Island division. In Big Apple something. We unfortunately Freeport dropped out, so I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick. I'm a Bulldog alum, but I gotta see, man. Everybody's new. Bulldogs are new there. Rosedale's new. I know about the Avengers, but I know them in the low divisions. They the team. I gotta be doing like Elmont had a pretty 500 record, so you got to see what they're gonna do. And if you come to if the Rifles come on board, I don't know, man. I got to look at some games, man. We got some exciting games in that division.
So. That's what I'm looking at. If we come on board, I think that the Queens division, is a division to be reckoned with.
There's gonna be some good games out there. So
very good games.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you, man. What Uncle Mil got to do to convince? Who I got to call up to convince? Tell me his name. I got.
We good. We gonna make it happen. Like I said, we just gotta make decisions on what's better. I mean, like I said, we're gonna sit back down at the table and discuss, because time is we losing time, so we gotta make a decision right now.
It's no brainer. It's the recruiting. If you're gonna have a future, you gotta recruit the babies, or the Avengers gonna get on them.
True. True. Yeah. I mean, let me tell you this. It always comes down to coaching.
Yeah.
It always comes back to coaching. I like all of these organizations, they do a good job, but I stand behind my product. I stand behind my staff and what I put together. And I know that I can compete with anybody. I've shown it. I can compete with anybody. So, I mean, there are certain things that it still comes down to. I mean, you can traveling is good. 3-4 different uniforms, that's great, because that's what's getting these kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to getting on the field and teaching the game, we stand alone.
But we joke about the these organizations that I don't like to call them upstarts and everything, but I spoke to Corley Parlin about this. It's great that you got people branching off, and they take the foundation and the lessons and the thing your organization taught, and they use it to their advantage, and they benefit from it. So that's just growing. I'm always a fan about growing the game. Some people don't feel that, wow, why would he do it here and all this other stuff? I'm like, it's about growing the game. We all got to recruit for kids. As long as kids are being born, this sport will keep going. You just got to work a little harder, get a little creative, and it will work out for you. But you gotta go with the shift. If the shift is gonna help the organization in the future, you got to go with it. It's no brainer. It's no brainer, because it's bringing in and expanding the game first before anything else. Because if you don't do that, you don't have a program. No, you have an expiration. You have an expiration date on your program, and also a league. There's an expiration date on it if you don't think about doing that. And so I want to say congratulations. You're going to excuse me. Congratulations. You're going to Holy Cross this year.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm correct. You're going to be the head coach,
head coach, JV head coach.
JV head coach.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Now, how did that
thanks.
come about? How did that come about?
I was at Holy Cross a couple of years ago. I mean, I coach. I actually coach varsity with Coach Pugh. Then work, I had to step aside because I couldn't commit the way I wanted to. So I stayed with the Rifles. But I still try to steer kids that way if they're looking at Catholic schools. And The varsity head coach Tim Smith, he was one of the defensive coordinators when I was there, and he stayed and he got the job of varsity head coach. So from time to time, we would talk, and he asked me, he always asked me like, when are you coming back to coach? And I was always brush it off like, I want to stay with the kids, get these kids right. I'll send you some kids, but I'm not ready to do high school, because I couldn't put the time and the dedication into it the way I wanted to. So with this COVID thing and everything, and with work and things changed. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So he asked me this past winter. He was like, you know, let me know what you want to do. So I thought about it, talked to a couple of people, and everybody was like, yeah, it's about time. It's your time. You should do it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
congratulations.
I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I did it. So I told him, yeah, I'll come back. And when I called him and told him I was coming back, he was like, I was under the impression that, you want me for a coordinator spot or position coach. And then he said, you know what? I think you should take the JVA head coach's spot, which is sophomores, because they're gonna have three teams. We're gonna have three teams this year. We're gonna have two JV teams in varsity. There's gonna be a JVA, JVB, and varsity.
So, how the time? Well, isn't any going to be any time conflicted from doing two? You youth coach and
Um,
varsity coach. Is it going to be a time conflicted?
no, I mean, no, it's not. Because I'll be at Holy Cross, but I've given up my head coach's position for the 10-year-olds.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have a head coach. My assistant, he's now the head coach, and he'll be running
And
the 10-year-olds.
what are you going to do on the staff?
Excuse me.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do on the staff for the 10U staff?
What am I gonna do? I'll be doing defense and just basically overseeing,
Okay.
things. My goal, my thing now within the Rifle organization is bringing in coaches
Mhm.
and getting them ready and teaching them my so
Can you
so
can you repeat that and say it loud? Because some organizations need to hear that. What you say your new position gonna be?
just bringing in getting
Yep.
younger blood,
Get them coaches
and
in, man.
teaching them and pushing the organization forward, moving them into the new era. Because we have a bunch of coaches. We have a bunch of coaches that's been there decades. It's time. I mean, the reason why they're there because we haven't had the coaches come through like alumni. A lot of our alumni is either they're not ready. I always reach out to my old players and let them know, like, look, I need your help. We need your help, but they have to be dedicated. They have to show the same type of dedication that I show.
Yeah.
Right now they're living life, and that's great. living life and whatever. But my whole thing is, if you're gonna make this commitment, I don't care where you at on Friday or on a Friday night, but Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, you need to be on that football field and you need to be ready to go. If you can't make that commitment, then when you're ready to make that commitment, then you can come back. Then you let me know, and then we'll bring you along. But now we're starting to get. I got a bunch of kids that are starting to come back, and they're ready to start working, and it's good. I look out on the field and I see a bunch of kids that I've coached, and now they're coaching and they're giving back. They're giving back to the organization.
How you proud? Yeah, how you determine a potential coach? How do you determine a potential coach? How do you determine? You look out.
How do I determine a potential coach
that you can bring in? That you can bring in and get ready.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I can bring in anybody. If you tell me you want to coach and you're willing and you show the willingness to learn, then you can coach. You don't have to play a lick of football to learn the sport and to coach it. It's been proven. Because there's been several coaches. There have been several good coaches that have not played, and they, because they're coaching winning football.
Yeah, because that's one of the complaints that some organizations have. Oh, we got to get coaches. I said, you got to create the coaches, man.
Yeah,
you got to create the coaches.
You got to teach. You have to teach. You have to teach your coaches. Just because they play, just because you was a good player doesn't make you a good coach.
That's true.
You have to learn. You have to be a student of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what I look for. Yeah. Got people that want to learn. All right. And not what I'm teaching you, but after I give you something, you go and you can research it and you can find something else, something different. You can add on to what I'm teaching you,
Because it seems like the biggest problem when I listen to some organizations, talk to some organization presidents and organizers and people that directors, and they got a problem with daddy ball, and I'm like, you gotta keep bringing in potential new blood like kids. You gotta bring in new coaches too, and you gotta recognize the daddy ball coach is that you got to be here for all the kids, not just one.
Yeah, that's our biggest. That was one of our criteria.
Yeah,
in coaching, you wanted to coach. If you was a parent and you wanted to coach, number one, you could not coach your kid. When I first started, if you were a dad and you came down, you wanted to coach. If your son was on the junior peewees, you had to coach with the peewees or the midgets or anywhere else, anywhere but where your kid is playing.
Yeah.
Since then, we've been more lenient, and I've been lenient with that because at times I needed coaches, but I always made sure, like if I'm putting a father on my staff, I'm making sure that he's not just for his kid. And if I see that, then he's not going to be coaching. You'll go back to the sideline, but we were losing manpower and we had to start loosening up on that rule.
But the thing I always say is what you just said, we were losing man, because every year you have to grow the product. You have to bring in people. So the way you recruit kids is the same thing you recruit coaches. And if you bring in the ratio, you don't have to bring in a lot of coaches. You just got to bring in. You got to say, okay, listen, man, we got 1 or 2 or 3 here. We're gonna bring it every year, and they the young blood, and they got to learn and to fit into a system, understanding their role in the coaching staff, and knowing their place, and understand what their job is and their responsibility. But here I see, and it's I'm not saying it's the number one setback on some organizations that don't have coaches, but they got a lot of daddy coaches following their kids. They follow their kids year to year, from team to team, And when they get to high school, you're done. They're done with you. And now at a situation like, yeah, man, it's hard to find coaches. Yeah, because you didn't take care of the problem every year. You know, you have to take care of the problem. You have to have a protocol. Yeah, we got to recruit kids, and we got to recruit younger kids, and we got to recruit coaches.
Yeah,
I don't mean that should be in the meetings. What's our thing? What is our things to do list? You write it down. What we need? Yeah, I think we need 3 coaches. All right, let's do that. How many kids? You know, and let's do that. It's the plan to do that. You know, and then, you know, then you don't have those problems. You know, but yeah, I'm not gonna hold you, man. Thank you for you know, coming on, man. Artie, I wish you a lot of luck at Holy Cross. And you need, just like I said, and Uncle Mills here. Who I gotta call? Who I gotta call to make this happen, man? You know, you got it. Yeah, I like to see y'all. I like to see y'all in that Southeast Queens division, man. I don't know what Tyrone calls it.
Yeah, we'll there'll be some news to report soon.
Going into Roy Wilkins, seeing that the Rosedale against you guys, man. See what's going on with that, you know?
Yeah.
Bulldogs against you guys. What's going on?
Yes.
Queens of Vegas against you guys. What's going on? Let me see. I'll be in the stand. I'll be on the field. I don't sit in the stand anymore. I'll be on the field watching it, and, you know, doing my thing. You know?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Before I go, I'm gonna extend the invitation for you if you're available August 20th.
Okay.
We're gonna bring back our jamboree. We're gonna do a jamboree at Roy Wilkins Park. I'm looking to have different, you know, I'm opening it up for all anybody that wants to participate, organizations. So
okay.
I'd like for you to come down there. You can broadcast from there, you know.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
It's a big 10U situation going on in New York right now. Yeah, I don't really understand who's the best 10U in the city. So, you know, the Chiefs and the Chiefs got a good 10U team, and the Brooklyn Saints got a good 10U team with the young Lion Angel, and just gave us an open date on August 20th. So I hope that shoot off, but if not, I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Oh,
you know,
well, that's all good.
But if I can come and not, and Artie, that game is at so and so, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But
we're gonna be there all day. We'll be there from the morning.
I'll be there all day.
From the morning to probably early evening.
Yeah. I'm kind of rooting for that game because it's like, you know, a lot of trash talking is going on with certain people.
That's all it is trash talking.
And I want to see the kids. No, I really want to see the kids play because, you know, that they was on 9 last year. You know, Coach Angle won the UTL chip, and he did really good in UIFL Florida. You know, Division I. Yeah. They put him in the Division I and at 9U, and he did decent, right, for New York. So I want to see that team. And the Chief team, you know, they came up short in the playoffs, but they had a good season. So I want to see that, you know, so I know who to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I like to get the visual of it. I don't like to do all that talking. So I like to get the visual of it, and I like to go see the game. That before I even say anything on this platform about, I got to see you play, man. So I don't get to that talking. You know, y'all talking too much. You know, let's get it on. I think the game, you know, I like to see it. So if I like to see, I'm gonna promote it. So I said, let's get it on and let's see. They got an open date on the 28th of August. But if that doesn't happen, I'll be there in Roy.
The 28th or the 20th?
I think the 20th. I'm sorry, the 20th. The 20th. The 20th of August is an open date.
All right, well, look.
If not, I'll be there.
Well,
I'll be there. If not,
all right,
you know,
no problem.
It might not happen.
No, I think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna play.
I want it to happen, but when someone's running. Nah, let me stop because they're gonna call me up. No, who says running? Who says running? This me starting trouble. It's a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of hoops and stuff you got to jump over.
True.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I said, man,
but anyway, like I said, it's you welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm making I'll be there and I can talk to Miss Sporting, and get a little interview on tape, introduce myself and my sports platform to her. And because we gotta show homage to the people who started it, and if it wasn't for them, it would be not us. So they sacrificed in the beginning and bringing it together. We gotta show homage to that.
Yeah.
So thank you, man. Let me know, man.
Right.
Man. You got to bring the news. Listen, man, when y'all find out Corn for Milk, man, I want to hear from the grapevine. I want to hear it out of your mouth, Artie. Because I got those sources, man. They call me up, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear from you. And we can probably do something special and things, Soon you guys know when I'm pulling. And it's like my service is open anytime to say who I gotta call, man. Who I gotta call to convince.
All right, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Artie, man. Thank you very much. And that was Coach Artie. I call him the Rock of Gibraltar of a youth sports. He's been around a long time in the youth sports division in New York and coaching and things. And we're glad to have him. Joe, you there? Joe was there, and then we in a certain settings and stuff. I'm gonna talk about structure for about 10 minutes, and we out of here. Okay, Joe? Yeah. Last week I mentioned a word called structure, and I wanted to get you to understand what structure is. It's a foundation on how you put things together. You have to have a foundation, so whatever you're doing works. So there's certain ways, certain things got to be in place and guaranteed before you do certain things. Like, in youth sport, we got a lot of people doing certain things like tournaments and 7-on-7s and even coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Has to have a foundation, has to have a structure on the way of doing things or the plan. It's not going to work according to the game or according to what you're doing, and even this show have to work on a structure. It's certain things that I cannot do, and I am exercising the things that I can do right now. It's not saying I don't want to do it or I cannot do it, but I cannot entertain it when I don't have the structure together to make it work. So I cannot do it, So this show is going to be moving forward in our sports desk. And what we're doing is live streaming games as a sports show. So we're going to be going to all different games, all different events, and we're going to broadcast it and put it on our Watch the Youth channel. Our structure is to promote on this platform, is to promote what goes on in youth sports, following the news of youth sports, the events of youth sports. And sometimes by doing that, people mix up the word drama, meaning it's bad. Drama is not bad. It's just why people watch certain things or go to certain things, because they want to know information. They want to know what happened and things like that. So the word drama is not bad. It's just that on this platform, by following certain stories, we highlight certain events and certain things that happens in certain stories. It's not negative, and we're not really trying to go negative. I don't do the story, I just follow it. And if it's a negative content to it, I have a duty to say, well, that's too much for what my platform is about, is youth sports and kids and things. Or that might be relevant. We do sit down and talk about it. So for people to call me up and say to me, challenging kids, I mean that's what you're supposed to do as a sports organization. The sports is very expensive to the parent. It's not only the registration fees, it's the equipment, it's the travel, it's the other little things, the unforeseen things that you don't see when they travel. They got more than one kid, they gotta bring that kid, and they gotta, and it's just the expense of it. So understand what the program is supposed to do. And I understand that, it's a lot of pressure about winning, but with that said, that's not what you're here for. And you have to understand that the parents has to understand what they're paying for. The teacher kid football and him taking all the teachers and the practices and the training and the knowledge, and they present it in the game for results. You can't control the results. So it's an underline about organizations are worrying about the minority of parents leaving because you're not winning. Sometimes you gotta let them go. You have to worry about the majority. So let me explain that to you. If you got a team of 25 kids and 3 of them is really good kids, but their parents don't understand the process that the whole team has to play on a high level to win, and they take their kids to someone else, someone the coach say something, and they take their kids to another organization, and you can't hold up the way you should be doing things because of that. Unless your guy's gonna come up with some kind of honor amongst thieves and say we gonna sign a contract 2-year parent, you can't go nowhere because you can't trust these other organizations. They would take somebody who's leaving. We was last year. Oh, and then they complain about when somebody do that to them. I'm just calling it the way it is. It's stopping you from what you're supposed to do as a program. If you worried about you worried about the minority of parents, you have to reevaluate what you're doing. If you're worried about that, it's the majority, and what we do, and they go, and somebody else is gonna pick them up. And so you call up Uncle Milt and say, it's gotta be certain words, and you gotta know you not. Come on, I don't work under that pressure. I'm independent. I'm gonna call it the way I call it, and that's what it is. You have to be more, because you don't have that honor amongst these. The same team cry about losing kids, they the one taking somebody else's kids. Until you stop that, then no one will lose kids. You're not making a haven for another parent or kid to come to you and say, where you at? Where you came from? Oh, you came from that? I'm sorry, you have to go back there. Can't come here. And what's the chances of that happening? So it's the saying that look at the person in the mirror before you start complaining. Do I do that? Yes, you do. And you live by that, it happens by that. So with that said, Uncle Milt is out next week. We got working on a basketball show. I started talking about, I almost forgot about it. I started talking about it, working on this show about a program. It's the basketball program, the AAU, between the local team and the travel team. And the parents is up and raw about, it's being split. Some feel that, their kid is on the local team should travel. And some parents feel, I'm okay with my kid on the travel team, because he's too developed to be on the local team. So we got a coach coming in and explaining that to us. I think that's the second biggest thing other than reclass, that I have on the show, and I'm working to put that together. Hopefully I can bring that to you next week. next Wednesday, and we be in May, and we're back. You know what I'm saying? And just like I said, as soon as we get back to our nest and we decide what we're going to do, we still working on this show to get it more better and more entertaining for what's coming up in the future. So with that said, Uncle Milt, I'm out. Joe, you there? I'm used to Joe being in the next room. Now Joe is Joe. Joe's in the next borough. If we was here, Joe, I'm out. So our timing is off. So we off the air, man. Uncle Milt, see you next week. Goodbye.